Hello everybody, welcome to Josh Dell'Aria's Musical Escapades. My name's Josh Dell'Aria, your host, and we live in a world where we're told to push our boundaries as often as we can. Now, that may be applicable in a lot of areas, but it may not really be the most applicable in music, especially not with the vocal range, and this musician I'm about to introduce you to is pretty solid proof of that. Let me introduce you guys to William Prince, who is a singer-songwriter, I believe, out of Canada, and he has a wonderful, rich, deep voice. So I actually found William a couple months ago through the public radio station that I used to listen to up in Massachusetts. It's WUMB, out of University of Massachusetts, Boston, and their website lists all of the new music selections that they've pulled in for their radio right there on their website. So that's how I found William in the first place. Now, at that time, William had recently released his second album called Reliever, and I believe on iTunes, William explains that the whole concept behind the album is that, a reliever in baseball comes in and relieves the pitcher who's on the mound, and possibly sometimes the reliever's just there to carry on the team until the end of the game, or it could be there just for a short period of time, or it might be there to help bail out a pitcher out of a stressful situation. He's using that as a metaphor for the relievers in life, as you might think. So people who might come along and help relieve stress or anxiety or any other sort of problem in life. So I'm going to share you guys this song, The Spark, which I think is his most popular song on the album. I think it's the first song on the album as well. And you guys are going to hear him not breaking out of his vocal boundaries very much. But you guys will kind of notice what he does within those boundaries. And I think that's what's the key about this guy. So here we go. This is William Prince with The Spark.
So am I dreaming, or is this just how we're living now? Refuse to wait 'cause I have never been this close. You always think I'm leaving before I've had the chance to stay. Darling, it'll be okay if you look me in the eye. If you look me in the eyes, I sing now. Don't be afraid of the fire, babe. I'd never let you burn. And all these bridges we cross all have water underneath. When the ashes of lost love make it hard to breathe, my love, if we burn, would you burn right next to me? And there's so much revealed when you take the time to know me for who I am. I'm just who I am. Don't be afraid of the fire, babe. I'd never let you burn. And all these bridges we cross all have water underneath. When the ashes of lost love make it hard to breathe, my love, if we burn, would you burn right next to me? And I was in the dark the day that I met you. Now you expect me just to forget you. Act like the fire never burned. It was my solstice, my refuge. Sitting on the sun, I was so nervous to let you share with me this pain, reason I don't take a day off. My intentions, they were pure. I'm just a beacon for chaos. That fire ever burn, just let it burn. I said if that fire ever burn, just let it burn. I sang, don't be be afraid of the fire, babe. I'd never let you burn. And all these bridges we cross, all that water underneath. When the ashes of lost love make it hard to breathe, my love, if we burn, would you burn right next to me? And is it safe to say you are? Oh babe, you're the flame, the fire, but most of all, you're the spark.
Yeah, it's really such a beautiful song, and I really do love the fact that William Prince uses his bass voice in quite a unique way, I would say. See, I want to be clear about this because I'm not saying that everybody has to have like a tenor voice or a bass voice or like that sort of thing. What I mean in pushing your limits is that whatever voice you have, use that to your advantage. So most singer-songwriter types, especially at least male singer-songwriter types, are tenors. You don't find a lot of bass lead singers. And so most of these tenors can hit higher notes than most bass singers. And so usually they'll be expected to be in kind of a higher range. So to hear somebody just move completely away from that is actually pretty astounding. Because maybe I'm wrong about this, but I feel like a lot of musicians would be tempted to do like the norm, even if it doesn't really fit their voice. I'm just glad that William doesn't do that here. Now, I'm not trying to badmouth anybody who sings tenor. Like, obviously there are tons of great musicians who are tenors, or altos, or sopranos. But all I'm trying to say is that whenever you sing out of the vocal range that is comfortable for you, it's going to sound terrible. If you're a tenor and you try to sing low bass notes, or if you're a bass and you try to sing high tenor notes, you might be able to reach them. Like, I'm a bass, but I can reach some of those high tenor notes a little bit. But whenever I sing them, they sound horrible. They don't sound good. They don't sound comfortable. So when you sing in a range that's more comfortable for you, the sound that you produce is much better. Okay, with that out of the way, let me turn now to the lyrics. And I just want you guys to listen to the depth that William Prince puts in these lyrics and just how strong these metaphors are.
And there's so much revealed where you take the time to know me for who I am, not just who I am. When the ashes of lost love make it hard to breathe, my love, if we burn, would you burn right next to me?
You know, this is a really powerful message, a really strong message of deep love that the speaker has for his beloved. And I think the way that William puts these into place is really, really powerful. And I love this idea where he talks about the ashes of lost love make it hard to breathe. I love that idea. It's such a beautiful image. Now, if I had one criticism for William, it would be that there are some instances, at least in this song, and I think this is pretty common through most of the music of his that I've listened to anyways, that there are a lot of instances where I feel like he doesn't really lay out the lyrics in the best way that he can. Let me show you an example here from the bridge.
Share with me the plain reason I don't take a day off. My intentions, they were pure. I'm just a beacon for chaos.
So that second phrase there kind of flies out of nowhere almost. It feels like it does to me anyways. So I feel like that he could have bridged those two thoughts on a little bit better of a transition there. And then there's this part at the end too where he pauses at kind of an awkward spot.
And is it safe to say you are? Oh babe, you're the flame, the fire, but most of all,
Yeah, it
You're
felt
a
like that was
spark.
not really the right spot to kind of drop off your voice because it feels like you're expecting him to say a little bit more there, but he has nothing more to say, and it kind of feels like a kind of cut off in speech, like something I do quite often in my normal speech, but it's not really something that sounds good. So that would be just my a little bit of a criticism, but hopefully that's helpful for William in future songs and future music. Okay, so this is another 2020 song, and as such, it's eligible for the top 20 of 2020. And I'm going to go ahead and nominate this song, mainly for the reasons that William Prince, the songwriter, wrote this in such a way that William Prince, the singer, could execute it extremely well. And what that tells me is that William knows himself as a singer well enough that as a songwriter he can project that into his ability to sing. And that says a lot to me because it really says that he knows himself well enough to write things that are suitable for him. Alright, that is all I have on this video, everybody. Thank you all for watching. If you guys like William Prince's stuff, go check out his website. It's awesome, WilliamPrinceMusic.com. And as always, I will link his social media stuff down in the description below. Now, perhaps you're a musician who's made some fantastic music this year, and you want your music to be considered for the top 20. Well, that's totally fine. All you gotta do is make sure that I know about it. And you can do that in one of three ways. You can send it to my email here at joshdell'Ariasmusicalescapades@gmail.com. You can send it to my Facebook page, facebook.com/JoshD'sMusicalEscapades. Or you can leave it down in the comments below. Whatever way you do it, I'm going to go ahead and take a listen to it. If it sounds awesome, I may give it a shot at the top 20, just like I'm going to do here with William Prince. And if you guys like what we do here, I already know you're going to hit that subscribe button, so I don't need to tell you twice. But to satisfy the YouTube overlords, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Thank you everybody for watching, and until next time, go make great music, everybody.